Good afternoon, good afternoon. Listen, if you guys watched the prophecy that I published earlier, I just had to pause for a minute and get on here and talk to you guys about the catastrophic things that came after. And you'll understand why I say we need to pray. So after they take out President Trump in the dream, the United States eradicated Iran off the map. And then Russia, China rose up. And when Russia and China rose up, other countries started to have to make a decision on who they were going to align with. The United States, Russia, or China. And every country that rose up with China, we bomb. Every country that rose up with Russia, we bomb. And every country that rose up with America, they bombed. And World War III started. And when World War III started, it wasn't like any other war I had ever heard, read about, or even experienced when I was in the military. It was war on our cyber attack. It was war on our electrical grid. It was war on banking systems. It was nuclear war. Like I said, countries just started being eradicated off the map. Completely wiped out across the world. It was not just United States or just China or just Russia. This was a global war. World War I, World War II, it was specific to a region. I know the world was involved, but it was like, okay, we're fighting Germany. Okay, we're fighting Vietnam. Okay, we're fighting Japan. This was a war across the world. Every country was being attacked on this planet. It was like no war you have ever seen in your life. It was like nothing you've ever experienced. So when I tell you guys to pray that these things don't happen, I don't care where you live. I know some people are like, well, let me try to get out of America because World War III. Let me just try to get out here and World War this. Your country will be impacted. If this prophecy plays out like it was in my dream, every human being on the face of the earth will be affected. Everybody. Because every country allies with somebody. And every person that you ally with or don't ally with is going to be impactful. Like, it was catastrophic. Okay? So begin to pray. The other prophecies that I haven't gotten to share with you guys, and I'll share it here today, is the Lord had taken me into a dream. And in this dream, it was me and my daughter. And this was for Christmas. They were releasing this doll. And it was like a iRobot doll, right? And I told you guys earlier this year about the AI and the computer systems and how pronounced they'll be within our society before December of this year. And that has already happened. AI has rapidly increased over the past couple of months. You can't even tell sometimes whether this is AI or this is a real video. That's already happened. That prophecy is fulfilled. Okay? And I haven't recapped it because it's obvious. Like, these things are just happening. God has given us warnings, and I just wish people would begin to pray. Truly begin to pray. This isn't about political sides. This isn't about none of that. Like, we are spiritually being annihilated. What transpires what manifests in the physical is just an effect of what's already been happening in the spiritual. Christians need to understand that we are at war. This is not just a physical war. We are at war spiritually. And the goal is to take us out, to take out our souls, to get us incorporated with things that impacts our soul, not just physically take us out. But if the enemy can captivate your soul and keep you from the things of God, then he's won. That's the ultimate goal. You guys understand, like, the ultimate goal here in this experience that we're living is your soul. So I was in this dream with my daughter, and we were getting ready. It was like almost, it felt like a Good Friday thing where you're like, or a Black Friday, a Black Friday thing where you're like waiting for the sale to happen. It felt like that. And then all of a sudden I'm in this aisle with her because the door's open and I had a secret route to get to the aisle that we needed to get to. And in this dream, my daughter was like about 12 years old, and we were getting this doll, and it was like a robot doll. And the doll, and I know this sounds crazy, but this is what I saw. And I know when I got up from it, I knew this was coming. You guys know, I told you guys already, like, there are some dreams where it's like I got to decipher it. Then there's just dreams that just, this is what it is. This was one of them, okay? This was just what it is. We're in the aisle. She picks out this doll, and she wanted a boy one. She was 12 in the dream, which she's not 12 anymore, but she was 12 in the dream, which that was God's way of letting me know that this is going to impact children, okay? So if you have teens and children, kids, like from the age of 5 to 13, this is going to impact them drastically because they'll be the ones that will go after these things. So in the dream, we're waiting to open the doors. We get through the aisle through the secret route. We're standing in the aisle. She picks this doll, and the doll is a robot doll. And how they advertise it was like, is your child lonely? Is your child depressed? Has she or he been spending too much time on their phone or tablet, watching TV alone in their room? We have the perfect solution. And this is literally the pitch of the ad. We have a perfect solution. Buy them a buddy, a pal, a friend. Are they being bullied? Don't worry. We have somebody that'll talk with them every day, and you can program the doll to like give them mental health advice and all these things. And this doll was like a robot. It was literally like a robot doll, and you could program it. But in the dream, I was like, this doll looks so real. And I said, and you could tell it was a robot, but it just looked real, and it talked, and it interacted with Sophia in the dream and everything. And it was like, her best friend, and they could talk and walk and hold hands and have a conversation, and she didn't need to have friends. The doll took the place of a friend. But I told her one day, I said, take down the doll's pants. Like, I don't know why in the dream, but I said, take the pants down. And this he doll had a whole penis attached to the doll. And I was like, what the heck? Like, what if this doll decides to assault my daughter? It could do that because it literally had the part to do it. And then I was taken into another vision where men and women were buying these dolls. They were adult dolls, and they were called companion dolls. And you could buy it if you were lonely, if you needed a hug, if you needed to be, whatever. And this doll was a companion doll, and you could do whatever you wanted with it, right? It could touch, you could hug, you could kiss, you could all these things. And this was one called a companion doll. Okay? So these things are coming. These things are coming. The other thing that I had was another dream I had was of tsunami in the Atlantic Ocean, okay? Tsunamis usually hit in the Pacific, so this is going to be a shock when it happens in the Atlantic. But I saw a tsunami hitting in the Caribbean Sea, in the Atlantic Ocean. In the dream, I literally said, look at a tsunami rising up in the Atlantic, and I saw the tsunami rising up in the Atlantic. So prepare. Know that an earthquake will come that will cause a tsunami in the Atlantic Sea, which I never heard one in the Atlantic Sea. But these are the prophecies that I was supposed to give you guys already, and I hadn't gotten a chance to. But it's time for us to pray. Christians, literally wake up and start praying. Every time you open your eyes, just begin to pray. Begin to pray for your children. Begin to pray for your country. Begin to pray for the sanity of the world. Begin to pray. It's not about political parties. It's not about any of these things anymore, because we're at war spiritually in a way like a lot of people don't even grasp. Begin to pray. Join together in prayer. Find somebody that you like, that you love, and ask them to pray with you. Pray for your neighborhood. Pray for your city. Pray for your country. Pray for your state. Pray for your neighboring countries. Pray. Just begin to pray, because when these things start to unfold, know that these are things the Bible talked about. The end is near. In the end times, we are living in it. God bless you guys. And please, please join me in prayer about all these things that I just shared today. God bless you guys, and have a good one.